We are live. It's Thursday night. It's not quite 9 o'clock. We are so keen to discuss Arsenal. I'm here with the one, the only Football Dad's Army. Lee, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you, sir. I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. You know, as weekend results go, I'll take that. I'm sure we've got lots to talk about. I watched your video on it. Excited. I think we always like the same as everyone. Everyone's just like to be honest with you, it was one of those games, wasn't it, where you just thought it wasn't going to be. It was just going to be a draw, and I wasn't happy with it. Like when he made the substitutions, I was like looking at it, going, I would have liked to see Emil, blah blah blah, but I wasn't happy with it. Good morning. We've got Daniel James saying good morning.
Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning to you, Mr. James.
Yes, I was.
How did you feel about the result, Lee? What talk us through it?
I was very annoyed.
You weren't that optimistic, were you?
No, I wasn't. And especially when I see the lineup starting like Eddie. I'm thinking, Eddie, why Eddie? Starting him against the best team in the world, leading the line. I wasn't happy. But the rest of the team, yeah, I was quite pleased. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I was happy Havertz didn't start. I did want Emil Smith-Rowe to start. I need him. I think he needs some games. He needs to find his form. He needs some starts. In my opinion,
I've lost you a little bit. I don't think it's mine.
Okay, did you hear it? Can you hear me now?
It's because we started early. See, so you weren't happy with Eddie starting?
No, I wasn't. Not at all. I looked at it and I just thought he's not done anything. I think he's only got about 35 career goals, and he's been playing a long time now, hasn't he? I know he's been out on loan a few times. He couldn't even get in Leeds, his first team, when he went on loan to Leeds. They sent him back, actually, didn't they?
But you're quite big. You want Ivan Toney, don't you?
I would love to see Ivan Toney at the club. I'll tell you, there's a lot of noise being made about a 60 million transfer in January. I've been hearing lately.
A lot of it's coming from Brentford as well, so they look like they're keen. We'll probably get to that. Maybe
the player apparently as well. The players.
I don't see it, and I don't like it, and I'm not keen, and I don't want it. And no, I'm not having it. Ivan Toney. No, not for me, thanks. I would like to see us pay a little bit more and get Evan Ferguson from Brighton.
Yeah, well, Brighton have sold a lot of their players though recently, haven't they? And I'm not sure.
One thing you can say about Brighton is they'll sell a player. Yeah, I don't think we'd have any problems buying a player off Brighton.
Would it be more money? Do you think? Would it cost more than what would they want for him? Oh no, you froze again. Is this mine or yours that's freezing? Gosh, it's not a good start. Oh, he's back, Dan.
I don't know what's going on. You know, it's the first time I've plugged it into a router, and it's not really better, is it? Never mind. I'm not even on the Wi-Fi. Do you know what? I'll turn the Wi-Fi off. So if you lose me, you just talk for a bit. If you lose me,
yeah, it might be trying to connect to the Wi-Fi while it's got the router. Yeah. As I was saying, I now forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? You were talking about Ivan Toney. No, you was talking about Ferguson, wasn't you, from Brighton? I was asking you how much you reckon it cost us. Do you reckon it'd be more than 60 million for Ferguson? Hmm. You all right? Can you hear me? It seems to be frozen, Dad, again.
Yeah, I've just turned the Wi-Fi off. No idea what's going on. That should be better now. No?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you seem to be. You seem. I can see you. It seems to be moving. Like I can see your screen seems to be moving. It's not frozen.
Well, hopefully it's caught up with itself now. I'm not on Wi-Fi anymore. I'm just on the cable.
Okay.
Anyway, Gremlins in the system.
Yeah.
But sorry, so you should we start from the beginning because I didn't hear a lot of what you said.
Well, you were talking about Ferguson from Brighton, yeah?
How can it be my end? Yeah, I'll take him. But look, I don't really want to start off by talking about. I want to talk about the big question for me, which I think we've got to address, is can Arsenal win the league?
I don't see why not. I really don't see why not. Especially, we definitely need a striker. We definitely January. We definitely need a striker, whoever it may be. I mean, I do like Ivan Toney, but I'll take anyone above Eddie at the moment. I don't. Jesus ain't going to get us 25, 30 goals. I don't think, but he's got all the running. He's got all
You're
the
not
running.
an Eddie fan. I've got that. So
yeah, I'm not an Eddie fan. I don't think if we buy a new striker in January, I think we've got a great chance. To be honest, I think everywhere else around the pitch, I think we're covered basically. I mean, we've done all right without Saka, Jesus on that right hand side against City, didn't we? Trossard coming in on the left.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm still a little bit worried on the defensive numbers, but you know, that's not the end of the world. Timber, we saw that Timber might be coming back a little bit earlier, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I think overall, I get it. We definitely need a striker. There's no question about that. I just think Ivan Toney, if I'm honest, I just think there's a lot of hype around him. People aren't really paying attention. You know, I mean, how many games have people seen him play? Why do they think? I mean, he plays off the left. You know, he's not going to go down the middle. He's the wrong age group for me. I just don't like him. I don't get it at all. I mean, he's not. You know, would Man City be in for Ivan Toney? Could you see that?
Well, no. They've got Haaland and what's his name, Alvarez. Really, I don't think that they would.
If they didn't have.
Oh, if they didn't have, maybe. I don't see why not. He's improved every season. He was brilliant in the championship. He's gotten promoted, and then he scored his first season. I think he got in his 20 goals or 21 goals, and then he got 25 goals or so the next season. So I think he's improved every year. Eh? No, I mean when he gets his first season in the Premier League. His first season in the Premier League, he got 20 plus goals. In the second season, he got more, didn't he?
In the first season in the Premier League, no, he got 12 goals.
Did he?
He got 12. Yeah, he got 12 goals. He got 20 last season and 4.
Okay.
In the Premier League, not in the Premier League. He might have done it in the Championship. I'll just have a look for you.
Okay, I must have misread what I was.
He scored 31 goals in the Championship.
Yeah. Okay, but I must have misread that. Then I thought he got like 20 goals in the Premier League and then 22 or 23 in the second season.
No, last season was his best season.
Yeah,
last season was his best season, and he got he only spent one season in the Championship, but last season was his best season in the Premier League, and he scored 20 goals, 6 penalties.
Okay. Well, at least he scored them. He still got to score them, haven't you? Did he score? Did he have 6 penalties and score all 6? There was some stat I read. I can't really remember, but it was a while ago I read it, to be honest. So I must have misunderstood some of it. It was a while ago, but I did like him. I think he's got goals in him. He's got more goals in him than Eddie Nketiah, that's for sure. You seem to have frozen again, Dan. Hey. Dan seems to have frozen again. This is not going very well.
If you just took that.
If Daniel's still in the, if you're still in the,
for us, well, maybe
I didn't hear a word of that again. Oh, he's gone. Well, Daniel, if you're still in the comments, can you hear me or Dan Laguna? Is Dan Laguna? I think he's got off the screen now. It must be his connection. So yeah, I must have misunderstood what I read about Ivan Toney. It was a while ago, but would anybody else take Ivan Toney or Ferguson from Brighton? There's a lot of strikers. Well, there's not really a lot of brilliant strikers out there, is there? There's not loads to choose from. There's not loads of strikers to choose from out there at the moment. Dan's back. Hello, Dan. You're back there. You seem a bit better.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's in technology, isn't it? I bought a cable and it's cool use.
I found that. I know when I tried,
I'm better off on Wi-Fi.
It does recommend you to use the cable, didn't it? Instead of the Wi-Fi.
Here we are. Babes, is your phone on Wi-Fi?
They do recommend to use the cable, but I found that when I use I've got a cable as well. I bought one. I plugged it in. I didn't get the same connection for some reason. The Wi-Fi works better. Anyway, let's talk about the game. The game on Sunday, it was very cagey in the first half, I thought, and Kovacic has certainly have been sent off for the first challenge, let alone the second one. That's definitely 2 yellows if it weren't the first challenge. And it's a bit shocking that he wasn't sent off, and you've got all the other referees talking about it. I see a snippet of the programme that was on the other day, Howard Webb and Michael Owen, and it wasn't challenged. Howard Webb wasn't challenged about it. First of all, he said, yeah, it would have been a red card. Then he said, oh, when he reviewed it, he sort of reneged on what he said, and Michael Owen was his partner on that show, and he didn't really challenge him. He said, "Oh, moving swiftly on," like when they were talking about the first challenge, and they slowed it down and they showed it, and you could see that challenge. It could have broke Odegaard's ankle with that first challenge. Definitely, I don't know how that weren't a red card, but all right, give him the yellow, and then the second yellow, which should have come, was the challenge 5 or 6 minutes later on Declan Rice, and it didn't come. So again, that VAR, I know the VAR can't intervene with a second yellow card offence. There's something to do with a second yellow card that they can't correct or interfere with for some reason. But that did go to VAR. The yellow card for the first challenge, it did go to VAR, and it came up possible red card for that challenge, and they deemed it. It wasn't a clear or obvious error, which you could see how bad that challenge was. I'd love to know what you think out there. Let us know in the comments if you're watching. I know I'm not sure how many people are watching at the moment, but if you think that was a red card, please let us know in the comments, because I really think it was a red card, and it's dangerous play in my opinion, very dangerous play, and to do the same challenge again 5 or 6 minutes later on Declan Rice, and to stay on the pitch as well after that, which I think is terrible refereeing as well. But that first half was very cagey from both teams. But I think Man City were just slightly the better team in the first half. But the second half, I was shocked again. I was shocked to see Kovacic come on for that second half, because I would have thought Pep would have whipped him off, because he was so lucky to stay on the pitch in that first half. But yeah, he come back on again. But I think Arsenal were the better team in the second half. I was shocked. I was really surprised by it. And then the substitutes he made, bringing on Partey, Havertz, and who else did he bring on? I'm trying to think. When Martinelli came on, he changed the game. He changed the game, and he was running at the defence, and he was causing all sorts of problems. What did you think of that, Dan? I think Dan's connection is really poor. For some reason, the Gremlins are out tonight. It might be me. I might be the Jonah. I might be the Jonah on your channel tonight, Dan. Maybe it's because Scott ain't here tonight. Scott might be your little good luck charm. Don't know what's going on. I feel a little bit embarrassed, Dan, because this is your channel, and I feel like I'm talking too much on your channel. The host is having a few problems, and find it very difficult to run a channel to talk on a channel that it's not mine. I'm not hosting. I feel a bit weird. Hopefully he's back to see him move. Dan, you back?
Hope so. Yeah, I love the countryside, but internet, mate, fucking miss it.
It's a letdown.
Anyway, I caught little bits of it. You were talking about the Kovacic should have been a red card.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think anyone.
And if it weren't the second challenge,
you know, when you watch if you watch the fan reactions, you know, for the Man City fans, even they were like, "Silly ass, he's got to go." So no one thinks it wasn't a red card. You either think it was a straight red, you might not, or you think it was 2 yellow cards. But I'm glad he didn't go off, but I don't understand how he didn't go off. Then there was all this talk today about, I was watching the referees justifying it because the ankle hits the ground first. His heel hits the ground first. Oh, the bollocks.
Yeah, that was Howard Webb, wasn't it?
You know, studs showing. No, he's not like the Jones one.
Yeah.
Joke.
That was Howard Webb.
It doesn't matter, does it? Because we didn't lose. Yeah, but it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter because we beat them anyway. But what a shit show! Every week there's something.
It's broken. I've done a video on VAR was broken after the Liverpool game. And Spurs.
I think everyone has. I think everyone's done a video. I did the same one. I did the same thing. Death to VAR.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's easy to feel like it should be got rid of, but at the same time, VAR is not the problem here. You know, the problem here is the people using it.
Yes, the competence of the referees, and you know, we don't hear this problem anywhere else in Europe. I mean, I'm not sure about the VAR in Europe, but they must use it. I don't hear any other.
Yeah, they do. Everyone uses it. It works. They have a slightly better one in Germany, to be honest with you, because the offside decisions are more automated. But it just makes you laugh, doesn't it? Because Howard Webb, who's come in to manage this whole VAR process, you know, when it went tits up with us last time, and he's, you know, the big innovation they've made is that now when you say check complete, you have to say what your check. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is common sense shit. It's like the goal against Liverpool. The problem was he said check complete, and he didn't say what check was complete. He didn't say check complete it's offside or check complete, it's onside. He just went, yeah, check complete. And the referee's gone, well, that's fine then. And no one thinks to communicate. It's like air traffic control going, yeah, you can land wherever you like.
Yeah.
It's just a system that obviously we're not going to see the end of VAR. You're just not because we can't use it in this country. You saw it in the World Cup. There wasn't any huge problems there. You saw it, you'll see it in the Euros. There won't be any huge problems there. You see it in any league you want to go to. It's just in this country, we just seem to have, I don't know what it is. If you look at just the Kovacic thing, he's all right. So all I'm saying is there was a VAR check, right? They went in on that first one on Odegaard. They checked, the VAR checked it, and he'd given a yellow card, and they didn't just say to him, well, since the game stopped anyway, why don't you come and have a look at it again? Like they did with the Jones one.
Yeah.
If he looks at it again and decides he doesn't want to give it, all right, I know who to blame here. But for him, he decided really quickly when Kovacic went in on Declan Rice, he decided really quickly, goes like that, really quickly, I'm not giving a yellow card here. Why not? Tomiyasu got sent off for holding the football for 8 seconds.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's inconsistencies. That's Michael Oliver. I think he's one of the worst referees. Howard Webb said he's one of the best referees in the world.
Mate, if Howard Webb told me it was sunny, I'd probably take an umbrella with me. Like, are you kidding? Like, what Howard Webb's going to turn up and go, yeah, fucked it again. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, we can't do right for doing wrong. We're just stupid. I mean, like, incompetence. This, in the video I did, I'm not even so upset by the incompetence of it all. What really upsets me is that you can't criticize them. That you can't come out afterwards and say that's a shit show. Do you know what I mean? Like anyone else, if that goal had gone in when Alvarez was hunting down David Raya, if that goal had gone in, you'd be out there going Alvarez played well and Raya had a shocker. When Jackson misses for Chelsea and skies it over the bar, everyone can come out and go, he's had a stinker. Anybody can accept when they've had a bad game, except a referee. And heaven forbid you notice when a VAR person forgets to draw lines or to do the one job he's actually supposed to do.
If the manager says anything against a referee, he gets fined.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Why? It's freedom of speech. Say what you want. Like I
don't understand that either. Yeah, it's true.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like he's allowed to think the guy made a mistake. And it's one thing to stop him criticizing or saying things that aren't true. But when if Jurgen Klopp had come out and gone, well, that goal was onside, and whoever says it wasn't is an idiot who doesn't know how to do their job, what are we supposed to do? Disagree with him? Because it turns out the guy is an idiot who can't do his job.
Exactly that.
But what's brilliant news about it for us is that it didn't make any difference. I didn't want to be because they at the moment they're using. It's really funny for me because I'm watching Man City fans they just didn't expect it. They're like, "But we always win these games." They're always like, "Oh, but we always beat." It's like it doesn't work like that. You can't turn up and go because you've always won in the past. You're always going to win in the future. Do you know what I mean?
Was it 8 years and 15 league games or something like that?
It was something like that. Almost 8 years. It was since 15. So, but that's not how it works. Is you could go back to 15 years before that, and they weren't even around for us to beat. So, it isn't about the past. It's about the future. There's a great meme going around with Man City. This is the toughest result in Man City's 15-year history, and you go, yeah, that's exactly it, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But their fans, how salty. I mean, like it's a lucky goal. All goals are lucky. What are you on about?
Yeah, lucky deflection.
Nathan Ake's goal was lucky against us in the FA Cup. No one said shit about it. How lucky was Erling? How lucky was Kevin De Bruyne that Tomiyasu gave him the ball like that? That's luck. You ride your luck, you score.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. He's one for it. That big Steve. Have you seen him? Like saying, yeah, lucky deflection. Lucky deflection. He said. He was saying, could we have done better? Yeah. Did the best team win the game? He actually said, yeah. The best team.
Listen, I've watched a lot of them because I'm doing a video on it. But I watched a lot of the City fans, and I would say he's probably come out. Him and Boovy actually came out of it with a lot of credit from me because they were watching the same game the rest of us were watching.
Yeah.
There's a few like Hamza on the football terrace who was just like, they didn't beat us. They got lucky. It was nothing, it wasn't like a proper win. And it's like, mate, you're just trying to deal with something you don't know how to deal with, aren't you? You're just like, the rest of us have lost games. You just don't know. You started supporting a team that was winning everything. And now you don't know how to cope when you lose the occasional game. And all this, go on.
I was just about to say, I did see that. I saw the phone. I didn't click on it. I haven't watched it yet. But I've been meaning to go back to that. It's the title that he gets slaughtered, didn't he?
And I mean, to be honest, like I can't remember the guy's name now. Was he the Arsenal?
Egal.
He does wind me up, to be honest with you. So I can imagine he winds other people up. But it doesn't so much have to slaughter him. You just go, look on the balance of it. To talk about the game and say that I would put it this way. Treble winners. All we hear is how great Man City are, that they're much better than us, that they're going to, that we've got nothing for them. They don't need Rodri to beat us and all this. And then they lose and it's like, oh, well, you didn't really win. It was a shit game and we played just as well as you. And you go, I don't know what game you were watching. The second half, they weren't there. They had no ideas. Well, I don't remember Raya making a save.
No, not in the second half. I thought we nearly put us in trouble about 3 or 4 times. I think it was actually 5 times. He'd give the ball away in that first half.
I saw your video. I can't remember there being 5 times, but
it was either 4 or 5 times because he kicks it out. I know the first time when he got closed down by Alvarez, and I think I said Akanji in the video, but it was Alvarez. He kicks it out a few times. When they're passing it amongst themselves, he kicks it out. It went straight forward down the middle when it went to a Man City play. He done that about 3 times.
That's what I'm saying. I remember too. Okay, I remember. Listen, I was on a Facebook group at half time going, since Arteta's talked about rotating keepers, this might be the game to do it. But then Arteta came out after the match and gave it a big kind of thumbs up.
No, he said that he told him to do that.
Told him to do what though?
He told him not to kick it long. He's told him to keep hold of the ball and wait for players to close him down, and then get rid of the ball. So it creates the space behind. That's what.
Yeah. No, I get that, but then the mistakes.
I told Raya not to.
Yeah, but that's fine. But hang on a minute. The mistakes we're talking about, the Alvarez mistake is that, but the other one is just a bad pass. The two that I'm talking about. But anyway, he stayed on. He kept a clean sheet. For me, if you said that there was nothing in it, I think that we lacked a little bit of our attacking threat. It was a cagey game. But we were without, we played the first half without Saka and Martinelli. And my God, when you saw Martinelli come on, I just love him. I just love him. There's all this talk at the moment about him, all this bullshit talk about we might be swapping him for, and some money. I mean, I wouldn't swap him for anyone in the world. Mbappe, anyone. There isn't a player in the world. I
love him. I think I love Saka. I'm gutted about Emil Smith-Rowe. I really am. I 2 years ago, he was my favourite player.
He's still one of my favourite players.
My favourite player. My favourite, though.
Yeah, 2 years ago, he would have been my favourite player.
Yeah, he really was. I loved him. Remember that song they done, the status quo thing?
Saka, Martinelli, Smith-Rowe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've said this before. I think Emil saved Arteta's career because he came on in that Chelsea game and never looked back. Came in with 10 goals that season. But it wasn't just the fact that we got a football back that day. We went from being this kind of Unai Emery team without a midfield. And then obviously Arteta comes in and he's still got the same squad to work with. And it's just not clicking. And he goes off and gets Willian and that doesn't work. And it just looked like we were doomed. He was never playing Martinelli. Saka was playing, but not always in the right position. And then on that Chelsea game on Boxing Day, just went, now let's see what happens then. Go on, let's roll the dice. And we haven't looked back since. Yeah. But then, this is, I suppose, worth us discussing as well, because on the one hand, you've got a lot of people saying, look, he's not at all sentimental, is he? Because he's dropped Ramsdale like a hot potato. And he's brought in Raya, and that's a gutsy move. it reminds me of when George Graham dropped John Lukic and brought David Seaman in.
Yeah.
But that's because it worked. I'm worried that Raya and Ramsdale aren't different enough, and the fans love Ramsdale, and I don't know if he would have conceded a goal on Sunday. Like the games where Everton, Raya's kept a clean sheet, they never had a shot on target. Do you know the thing that's driving me mad is all these City fans going that Ake missed a sitter. It wasn't a sitter. He had Saliba closing him down. He was in front of goal. The keeper was still in goal. It wasn't like he had the whole goal to shoot at, and he skied it.
Yeah.
That was their only real chance, wasn't it?
Yeah. Ireland was very quiet. Saliba and Gabriel, what a pairing. But what's a pairing?
Absolutely different gravy. No, I love them.
I seen that. We had Adams and Keown or Bold, and then you had Colo and Campbell.
Yeah. These two stand up.
These two are with them. They've got the potential. I know it's got to be proven.
That moment. How many times have you watched that moment where he comes shoulder to shoulder with Erling Haaland? Like
Haaland, yeah, and he just badges up.
He ends up on his ass. He's like,
yeah.
Right? I mean,
the one the game before where he done the pirouette. He had the ball his Saliba.
I mean, he's got everything, isn't he? He's just. I mean, it's also that I thought it was a masterstroke bringing Jorginho in because he calms the game down as well. Yeah. So you've got these two really calm players. Gabriel, did you see the overhead kick? He cleared it out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
like Brazil.
Amazing. Both complement each other so well. They've got like an understanding. It's like they've got like a band, like a rope between them, and they're running, and they know where each other are all the time. They ain't even got to look properly. They just know they've got some sort of invisible sort of string each one of them knows where the other one is. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. And when I was a football coach, I was more on the defensive side of it. I was more of the defensive because me and my cousin run a kids team a few years ago. And we used to play attack versus defence, and I had the defenders and he had the attackers, for one of the drills. And I loved the defender. I had this young boy, Eric. Oh, he was brilliant. Slide tackle. He could do everything. It was like when he was 14, 15. We had him for 3 years up until they're 16. So we had him 13, 14 and 15. Just turning 16. Yeah, it was brilliant.
No, I think when you look at that back four, you've got Ben White in there. You've got Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko.
Don't forget, Rice can drop back into the centre half position as well. That's
what he did. I mean, he has been doing that. He basically played. He basically might as well have been a centre back. His average position was that deep. But Rolls Royce, that's my new nickname for him.
Mm. Everyone's calling him a Rolls Royce. They're saying Rolls Royce and the Jag. I think they were saying, weren't they, about him or something like that? So he was the Rolls Royce, and
no, Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce. Oh, I thought you were talking about Saliba because they're
Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce. Yeah, he was brilliant and all, weren't he? He was my man of the match,
mate. I didn't make him man of the match. I didn't make him man of the match. How you don't make Martinelli man of the match?
He come on the second half though, didn't he? So
he didn't play the whole game. Look what. But it wasn't even the goal he scored, which was, I don't think it was going in, if I'm honest. But it was the fact that, do you see that recovery talent when he comes steaming in out of nowhere and gets the ball back?
It was brilliant.
Like Roadrunner.
Yeah.
You just, it's the only reason we don't talk about Martinelli more is because Saka's playing.
Yeah.
If Martinelli was our only winger, if we had, like most teams, if we had one good one not so good one.
Yeah.
But Martinelli, I love it when Arteta's talking about it and he's saying that he was telling us he was going to be ready for this game and no one believed it. And then when Leo had a bit of a hammy, he was there already because I'm ready. He's already changed and everything.
Yeah.
Martinelli.
We've got some great players, man. I can't see why we can't win the league.
Right, so that's the point, isn't it? Like everyone's saying that we can't win the league because City always win it. You go, this is not the same City time. Yeah, and every other thing. The other big question, which I'm doing a video on tomorrow, is why isn't Erling Haaland scoring? And I tell you, I can actually answer the question. Last season, 60% of Erling Haaland's goals were assisted by Gundogan, Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, a couple in there from Mahrez, right? They're not there anymore. If you took away all the players that were supplying the goals, it's not like he picks a ball up like Thierry Henry in his own half and legs it forward. He's a proper centre forward. He needs service.
Yeah.
I think Alvarez is a hell of a player, by the way. I'd sign him in a heartbeat. I would love him. But one of the big problems there is that he's not passing the ball to Erling Haaland. And he's certainly not passing it in that sort of diagonal through ball that Kevin De Bruyne will give him.
No, I don't think Grealish is injured. I don't know why he's not been playing.
Fitness, I guess. I think there's an issue here. Well, I've said it. I've been saying it since the start of the season. Pep Guardiola wants to leave. The hunger isn't there anymore. If you look at last season, they're top 5 in terms of minutes played in the league. They're missing Kevin De Bruyne. They were missing Rodri, and they were missing. There's Silva's not playing as well. They're playing too narrow. He brought Doku on too late. This is not a title-winning City for me. So if the question is, if City don't look like they're going to win it, why wouldn't it be us? Liverpool look good compared to what they were last season, but this is part of a transitional phase for Liverpool. And if anyone tries to tell me Liverpool are winning the league because they beat the bottom 4 teams, fuck off.
Yeah, that's true. Spurs are shouting about winning the league now as well themselves, didn't they? They have started very well, to be fair, but
they're playing the bottom 4 teams. They've played Luton, Bournemouth, Burnley, Sheffield United. They got 2 Liverpool players sent off, although they lost that one. Right? Never mind that it took them 110 minutes to beat Sheffield United, and they only just squeaked past Luton. Right?
Yeah.
This is I think you look at where you expect them to be. They've got a decent run of games coming up in the next 4, but they do have Chelsea. I think Chelsea will spank them.
We've got Chelsea next.
Yeah, we got Chelsea and Man City have got Chelsea. So the top 3 teams all play Chelsea in the next 4 games. Yeah.
So that'll answer a few questions, won't it?
I think the question
will definitely answer us how good Chelsea are going to be this year.
No, Chelsea. I don't know. Do you see them against Fulham? Because they looked all right, actually.
Yeah, well, I saw the highlights. Obviously, I didn't watch the whole thing. Obviously, but I saw the highlights. Yeah, they looked all right. Modric looked all right in that game.
He did. Yeah, he looked really good to me. I think it's annoying because if you played Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, it would have been a no-brainer for me. Now I have a horrible feeling that they'll get a draw out of us, or maybe worse because it's away, isn't it? That one. So
it's at the bridge, yeah. But they haven't beat us for a little while.
They haven't. No, there's a period where they couldn't stop it. This is what I'm saying. Look, if you go by history,
swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
We're bound to beat them.
We couldn't beat them when Mourinho was managing them,
and they couldn't beat us before he was managing them.
No.
Do you remember Kanu in the rain?
Yeah.
Remember, Winterburn's special goal, Savinho's special goal.
Savinho, the other left back we had.
We've got Savinho. We've got Savinho.
Yeah.
What about well, we never lost to them. What about the FA Cup final where it's only Ray Parlour? Bang.
Screamer,
and Ray Parlour, beauty. So this Chelsea side, I think Pochettino will get them top. Not this season, they won't be top 4, but I think they're back. I think that there's a lot more belief in the team now. Sterling looks really good.
Yeah, he got a couple. Did he get a couple? Did he score 2, or did he assist one? I can't remember.
He assisted.
Yeah,
but he looks much better. Better. And so I think Tottenham will come unstuck, but City and us have to play Chelsea at the Bridge, and Tottenham get to play them at whatever their stadium's called, the Beyonce Go-Kart Stadium. And so I think that I think it will. The next 4 games isn't going to decide anything either. The other thing is people going like it's 8 games played, man. We've won 6, drawn 2. It's not the end of the world. It's better than the Invincibles managed.
Yeah, it's a. I think we've got. Have we got more points tally? Was it? Well, we're a point worse off or something from this time last year, but we'd lost a game.
Yeah, we lost to Man United.
We lost to Man United, didn't we? We haven't lost. So I think we've got about the same amount of goals, roughly.
I think we're under on goals. I think we're under on goals because we did smash a few in. But anyway, look, last season's done. It's all about this season. This season, I can understand people telling me that they reckon Man City are going to do it because they've always done it before. But no team's ever won 4 in a row. Use that logic. Just go. This isn't the same City team, by the way.
Oh, there was a comment. I put a comment. Sorry, Dan. I put a comment on one of the Football Terrace videos. What was it I put in there? I wrote something in there, and someone wrote about us beating City, and someone wrote, it must have been a City fan, it means nothing if you don't win the league, though. So that win against City means nothing. It means a lot. I put something about the 8-year thing, I think.
Hang on, but can I just make a small observation then? They beat us by 5 points last year.
Yeah.
So if we'd won one of the games against them,
that's 2 points. Yeah.
That's 6 points. Because they lose 3 points, we gain 3 points.
It's a
6-pointer.
Yeah, 6-pointer, yeah.
So by that logic, we've done this season what we didn't manage to last time. If all the other results go the same way and they beat us 8-0 at the Etihad, we'll still win the league.
Yeah.
Unless you think that we're going to play worse against the teams, unless you see something in Arsenal that so far this season that makes you think we're going to play worse against West Ham, worse against Liverpool, worse against Chelsea, worse. I don't see it. I think the difference this season is we've grown up. Do you know another thing I haven't heard anyone talking about is the average age of the City team when they came to the Emirates? About the same as ours.
Yeah, okay.
So all of the young youth in our team and everything, he's managed to balance it a bit better. And now City are the younger team. Now, I know that they're missing some key players. De Bruyne comes back in. Rodri comes back in. Obviously, Grealish should find some form, but he might not do.
I think I know we're not as attractive and as dynamic and as flashy as last season in the way we're playing. We're playing quite. We're not being as gung ho either, and we're more solid. And I think we're not really. We're thinking more about, we've got to be careful with this counter attack. If we get caught out.
This time we didn't press them in their half of the pitch at all, which is
we're more mature, I think.
People look at it now and go, oh, they had loads, but we had the same amount of possession. Because they had the possession exactly where we wanted them to have it. They had possession. I think there are a couple of their players who had like 2 passes in the final third.
Yeah.
They were not progressing the ball. They didn't know what to do. And by the 70th minute, they were there for a draw.
They definitely was. And they're saying as well is that under Pep, it's the only game that they've had less than 5 shots or 4.
It's the fewest shots he's ever had, and it's the lowest XG he's ever had.
Yeah, since he took over.
And the irony is, last season, people want to talk about, some of these other Man City fans talking about it's a really close. Typical City fan went through the stats. He went, well, look, we had 50, they had 51% possession, we had 49, so it's the same. Because it's not really about that. It's about field tilt. It's about what you do with progression. It's about what you do with possession. Sorry. So saying that Man City passed the ball between them at the back for 30 minutes doesn't mean that they were in the game. It just means that this time, when they did it to us at the last season at the Emirates, we pushed up and tried to get a ball off them, and that's where they cut us out. That's why there was so much space at the back. This time, Arteta said to them, they want to play it at the back, let them play at the back. Don't chase them down. Yeah. They've got to move the ball forward as well. They've got to do something with it. And when they do, we press, take the ball off them. I mean, in every conceivable way, I would like people to tell me if they think it was a close game. Who was Man City's man of the match then? Who played the best game for City? Who did you rate out of City's entire team? Silva. He was playing Silva as a DM. Silva right at the back didn't make sense at all.
I don't. No one really saw that. Kyle Walker weren't that bad, but
no, he wasn't. He wasn't that bad
until Martinelli come on, and Martinelli was giving him a few problems.
I have to say, Doku He looks so good to me. And the fact he didn't start was a relief. But when he come on, he had those 2 goes at might have been Zinni. Was it Zinni or Tommy that we
No, Zinchenko. That's why he brought Tommy Arsu on. When Doku come on first, and there were a couple of other players, I think, have made 3 changes, didn't they, City? And we countered them with 3 changes because we brought on Tommy Arsu, Thomas Partey, and Havertz.
Yeah. And all 4 of the subs scored the goal. So I've never seen that before.
And there was all involved. Tommy Arsu, 2 Havertz, knocked down.
Partey, Tommy Asu, Havertz, Martinelli. Yeah. I absolutely loved. I mean, it kind of got ruined for me a little bit because I was watching it, and I try and turn my phone off because you get all these. With what you can tell what the Wi-Fi is like here, but I'm a couple of seconds behind. I'm about 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. You get a ding on your phone.
You get a ding on your phone, and I looked at it, and it said Arsenal scored, and I was like, so I'm like ready for it. When it went off, I was like running around, going. I had to be quiet though. I had to keep the noise down, which was really weird. But I thought we deserved the win. And I think anyone who wants to tell me that City, no one's saying City deserved to win.
No.
And they didn't look that much more impressive to me than Nottingham Forest.
No, and everyone's saying that's why it ain't been spoke about enough. The Kovacic debacle. Because if Arsenal would have lost or drew that game, then there would have been a bit more of a scream up.
But
because we won the game, that's why there weren't so much.
Deserve an apology. I don't care what happens in the game. You want to watch that tackle and tell me that he shouldn't have gone for 2 yellows, then we're not watching the same sport. How did Tommy Asu get sent off? How did Jones get sent off?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Diego Jota is running behind someone who glances him. I mean, this guy went in like it was like watching 1980s football again. It was like, it was like going through the back of people, studs showing, it was like I was
Vinnie Jones.
He didn't have his stamp on him as well. I heard you saying that when I was having an internet connection problem as well. One of the things I did catch you saying is like surprised that Pep didn't take him off. Do you know what I reckon? I reckon Pep couldn't take him off because it would have looked so blatant then. It would have looked like, he did it. He shouldn't have. He should have taken him off. Who's he going to bring on? This Man City team that's won the treble and is going to easily win the Premier League. Where are the players on their bench, by the way, that you were scared of?
Grealish was the only one. Because you know what he can do? He only needs to be, you do that to him and he goes over and wins a penalty.
Yeah, where is Grealish? What's he done this season?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I was glad because he's the cheater. He's the biggest cheater in the Premier League, in my opinion.
I like him. I don't necessarily see him as that bad. But
he dives too much for me. He dives more than Tom Daly.
He played against Leipzig and he came on against Wolves, didn't he? But he's not. He's obviously fallen out with Arteta. No, straight up, I don't fear this Manchester City team. I don't think that's going to come back and bite me in the arse. But I've been saying this since the start of the season. I did that video on why Man City won't win the league. And it's all the things I talked about. It's like they've lost too many players. Pep Guardiola doesn't look like he's bothered anymore. He looks like he's got one eye on the door already. He wants to go and be an international manager. He looks tired and fed up. He looks, but then there's the players aren't the same players. Last season, without Rodri, they would lose 3 out of 10. This season, without Rodri, they're a one-man team, one-man City.
They've lost every game that they ain't played, didn't they?
All 3 games, all 3 domestic games. Wolves, Arsenal, Newcastle. He missed all 3. He's in for Leipzig, and they win that. But that's all not the whole story because that Leipzig game was going to be a draw, and then Doku happened.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alvarez. It was Alvarez's super goal that happened, and then Doku happened. Yeah. And
3-1, wasn't it? That,
in the end,
listen, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I've got that. I've just had a text now.
Let's do it. All right, Lee. Everybody watching in the replay and watching live, thank you so much for being part of it. And do make your way over to Football Dad's Army. Stick a link in the comments and look forward to seeing you.
I'll stick that in a little bit later. I'll stick it in on the replay. I'll stick the link in the comments. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Dan, for having me on. I appreciate it, mate. But I really wish I could stay, but, I've got to go. I had a call earlier on and I've only had a little bit of time.
It's all right, mate. Lots of love.
Thank you. See you later. Be lucky.